So that all by aim to the least damage possible.
And all the stuff in there is all scrap now, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're going to try and leave the front on, aren't they?
Yeah.
This is just what we need, this, for Christmas. You know, to slow everything down.
Yeah, that's it.
Just what we need. Mind you, this is London. This is what happens.
So you guys know what? Right.
It's cracked. Cracked.
Did it fall?
No, it's not fell. Just a 2-inch hole in it straight the way through it. Through the drilling on the railway.
Oh, wow.
Wait while we start HS2 and Camden collapses. Just disappears.
You can imagine what fracking does to the world.
Exactly, exactly. Fracking.
Oh, boy.
We don't need fracking. Hackney's fracked. There you go, you brought it up, fracking. You're dead right. That's exactly what I thought last night.
Where was it? Is that they started drilling?
Sorry?
They started drilling somewhere new, fracking.
Oh, is it Balkan?
Yeah.
Balkan, yeah. Yeah.
That's not good. Like, the water will get contaminated around there.
Yeah. It's a little bit more than fracking though going on in the world. A little bit more than that.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, corrupt governments. NHS has gone.
Banks, the way they operate.
National Services gone. Right? The education services gone.
Yeah.
Right? Everything's gone. Everything's finished. All down to arms dealing.
Yeah. Well, you know, it will all fall.
Oh, it'll fall in the end.
Yeah.
It'll fall in the end. Corporations are the thing that'll pull the world down.
Those corporations are owned by the
Yeah. Well, what you want to get into is lawful rebellion. Have you ever heard of lawful rebellion?
Is it? No.
Right. Lawful rebellion means that, you know, you're allowed to rebel lawfully. Right? It's in the Magna Carta. Right? And all you're actually doing is saying no, really, to contract law.
So what?
Contract law. Because all commercial law to do with persons appertaining to persons is all by consent, right? We're governed by consent. See, when you go to court and things like that, you know, for TV license, for tax, for you name it, for anything like that. I'm not talking about criminal. That is all contract law. No. Crime doesn't. There's no such thing as crime in corporate. Right? Corporate is all contract. You see.
So if corporations are trying to tax you and you refuse that tax, such as TV license,
yeah.
And you go to court, you're able to.
Well, yeah. Well, the idea is never to go to court. And how you do that is when the TV license comes to the door, right? You just tell them. Well, you film them, and you tell them it's best to film them. And you can't bring a policeman because a policeman can't really get in contact, can't get involved because it's civil. It's civil. You see, between you, if you like, it's debatable whether it's between you or not because you've not contracted with them. It's them that's trying to contract with you. So if you don't give,
they always ask you your details. Never give you.
If you ever give your details, that's it. You're contracted.
Yeah.
So.
Give your details to them.
So if you've not given your details, how can they get you in court? It's as simple as that. They can't get you in court, full stop. Right? And the policeman can't get a warrant, right? Or they can't get a warrant to have a look if you've got...
It's funny you bring this up because I did come back this like a couple of weeks ago.
Well, that's what I do. That's what I do. I'm not trying to be clever or big headed or anything like that, but that's what I do. Right? Like your council tax, you don't have to pay it.
We're not obligated to pay.
Sorry?
We're not obligated
Really? You don't have to take counsel?
Well, no, but you've got allowed to do it.
Okay.
You see, they'll send you to court, they'll take you to court, and what you actually do is you turn up in court, and just let's say your name's John Smith, right? Yeah, the summons, you first of all, you say, well, the summons is not actually a summons, it's an invitation, right? And you're here to represent Mr. Smith. You're not Mr. John Smith, but you're here to represent him. And then they'll say, well, who are you? You say, well, I've just told you, my name's John. Right? And they'll say, well, no, you can't do that. And then they'll say, is Mr. John Smith in the room? And then you'll say, well, I'm here to represent Mr. Smith. And they'll turn around and say, well, in that case then, if Mr. John Smith is not going to put his hand up, right, we're going to strike it down that he's not turned up, and we'll go ahead with the case without him. You put your hand in your pocket, and you say, okay, can you pass this please to the bench here? And they take it off you, and you say, that is Mr. John Smith, the birth certificate.
Oh, right, it's not physical, it is.
Right? Because the birth certificate is Mr. John Smith, all capitals. Right? And you turn around and you say, Your Honour, the reason that I can't comply with this court, with the, in the name of John Smith, is because if you look at the birth certificate, it says it's Crown copyright. So therefore it doesn't belong to me. Right? It belongs to the Crown. So obviously the name belongs to the Crown. And then they say, look, are you Mr. John Smith? And you turn around and you say, look, the fact that I've never been christened John Smith, right, that was done against my will. I was a minor.
Yeah.
And how dare anybody do anything on my behalf without my consent? Right? And then they'll say, no. And then you just say, look, I'm the living man, I'm the human being, I'm stood here. Then they'll say, no, you're not. And then what you do then, you turn around and you say to them, right, Your Honour, could I remind you about the Testamentary Act 1666 that declares everybody dead? And then you turn around and then you say to the man that's prosecuting you, which is the counsel, you say, before we go any further, are you a person or are you a human? And the magistrate will say, no, shut up. Of course he's a fucking person. Of course he's a, and you say, no, there is a difference. A human being is what you are there and what I am here, the solid man, the real thing, the actual thing. And you're telling me that I can't represent Mr. John Smith. Well, obviously, if he's a human being and he's representing the council, if everything is done fairly in a court, surely if a human being can represent the council, another human being can represent a person. Yeah. Right? I'm not a person. I'm a human being. I'm only using that name, right? Or you're using that name on me, right? They won't have it. And then what you do, you turn around and you say, okay, then, well, can I draw your attention then to this? And you show the summons to the magistrate, to the prosecutor, which is the council, and you say, has that come from your offices? And he'll look and you say, well, of course it has. And then you turn around and you say, well, Your Honour, I'd like to just point out that I'm sure that you know that only a magistrate or a justice of peace can sign a summons for somebody to turn out in court. Who's the justice of the peace that's signed that? I'm sure they haven't got one in the council, which they won't have. Right? So that makes the summons a fraud. And then you turn around to the magistrate and say, look, if you accept that there as a summons, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to advise you now to throw this case out, otherwise you're complicit in the crime, Your Honour. Of allowing a forged document to be being used in court, right? And then if they won't have that, and they still talk about your name, and then you say, do you only in a court of law, if this is a court of law, which I believe that it is and I don't recognise it, I would like to be tried under common law jurisdiction, right? So now because I've uttered those words, that makes you the traitors to the Queen. All you lot, right? You are all traitors to the Queen. I am the only person that is standing now in this court. So, right?
Wow.
I'm the only person that is standing in the court.
So, legally, they're not allowed to sack you?
Well, lawfully they are. Legal. Well, hold on a minute. There's a difference between legally and lawful.
So it's legal for them to tax us, but
It's lawful. It's lawful.
But
It's
it
lawful.
isn't mandatory.
It's lawful, but it's illegal.
Yeah.
Right? You see,
But is it mandatory?
well, the rules of the society, hold on. It's a rule of society. Rules are not law. Rules are not law. In other words, if you go to the Black Laws Dictionary, Black Laws Dictionary, book number 5, it tells you that acts and statutes are only given the force of law by consent of the government. And if you don't consent, acts and statutes don't apply to you.
Oh wow.
Everything's done by consent. That is what I was trying to tell you about business law. It's look, how can I make a contract with you? How can I force you into a contract? A contract is between 1, 2 or 3 people or even more, right? They all agree to the above contract and to the terms and conditions in that contract. If you don't agree, you're not part of it.
Well, I have to...
No.
Yeah.
If you don't agree, you're not part of it.
Yeah. And...
They're all down to the signature.
The signature, there's no yes or understanding. Understand, to understand, if they say to you, do you understand?
You can sign something, but not understand it.
No, they'll ask you, do you understand what you're here for? The minute you say yes, you're contracted. You understand nothing. Have a look at, right, have a look. It's not as clear cut as you think it is, but it can be done.
Yeah.
It can be done.
So, a birth certificate is a contract?
No.
No?
Well, it is, but what you're arguing is the consent.
Yeah.
You never gave consent.
Yeah. And that's unlawful.
You never gave consent.
That unlawfulness is down to society.
Yes, there's a rule of society.
The rule.
A revolution is coming. That's me.
All right, mate. Just before you go,